Ruth Hospital stood tall, a sentinel of healing. Its pristine white walls gleamed under the summer sun. For decades, it had been a beacon of hope for the people of Los Angeles, a place of solace where lives were saved and hope was rekindled. It was a sanctuary of healing, a testament to human resilience. Inside its bustling corridors, doctors and nurses worked tirelessly. Every beep of a machine, every hurried footstep signified their unwavering commitment. Each day at Ruth was a testament to the fragility of life and the unwavering human spirit. The wind carried an unfamiliar scent. Smoke. Acrid and thick, it invaded the sterile air of the hospital. Beyond the cityscape, a monstrous wildfire raged, fueled by drought and driven by relentless winds. Panic spread as quickly as the smoke, a silent alarm that sent chills down everyone's spines.
Evacuation orders crackled over the loudspeaker, each word a hammer blow against the quiet hum of the hospital. The situation is dire, and we know that time is running out.
The hospital buzzed with controlled chaos. Patients were moved to secure areas, their faces etched with worry. Critical cases were prioritized, their lives hanging precariously in the balance. Amidst the organized panic, a new threat emerged. The backup generator sputtered, its rhythmic hum faltering like a dying heartbeat. Dr. Aisha, the generator is failing. Without it, life support systems will shut down, darkness will descend, and with it, the grim reaper. Outside, the sky had turned a menacing red. Flames danced on the horizon, casting an eerie glow on the terrified faces gathered outside the hospital. Amongst them stood Imam Ali, a beacon of hope in the encroaching darkness. He spoke of faith, of courage, of unity in the face of fear. His words, a soothing balm on raw nerves, calmed the crowd. He directed them, guided them, his presence a symbol of hope in the face of unimaginable fear. His words resonated, reminding everyone that even in the darkest hours, humanity could find strength in unity. Section 5. A sea of faces, united by fear. Inside, the hospital hallways were crammed with anxious faces. The atmosphere was thick with a palpable sense of dread, as if the walls themselves were absorbing the collective anxiety of everyone present. The sick, the elderly, those who had seen many seasons pass, now found themselves in a situation they had never imagined. Their frail bodies were a stark contrast to the robust fear that gripped their hearts. Newborns in their mother's arms, innocent and unaware, were cradled tightly as if the sheer force of a mother's love could shield them from the chaos outside. Families huddled together, their fear a tangible thing that seemed to pulse in the air around them. The air was thick with the smell of antiseptic and fear, a potent cocktail that amplified the tension. Every breath taken was a reminder of the sterile environment, yet it did nothing to cleanse the fear that permeated the space. Among them were families who had sought refuge from the encroaching inferno. They had fled their homes, driven by the primal instinct to survive, to protect their loved ones from the merciless flames. They arrived, carrying only what they could, clutching bags filled with hastily gathered belongings. These items, once mundane, now held the weight of their entire lives. Their eyes reflected the terror of fleeing their homes, the uncertainty of what lay ahead. Each glance was a silent plea for safety, for a return to normalcy that seemed so far out of reach. The hospital, once a symbol of healing, was now their sanctuary. It stood as a beacon of hope amidst the chaos, a place where they could find some semblance of safety. Their only shield against the relentless firestorm, the hospital walls offered a fragile barrier between them and the devastation outside. Here they clung to the hope that this refuge would be enough to see them through the night. Inside, the medical staff worked tirelessly, their faces etched with determination and fatigue. They moved with purpose, tending to the needs of the frightened and the sick, their own fears pushed aside in the face of duty. Volunteers distributed supplies, offering what little comfort they could. Bottles of water, blankets, and words of reassurance were handed out, small gestures that meant the world to those in need. In one corner, children played quietly, their attempts to find normalcy a poignant reminder of resilience. Their laughter, though subdued, was a beacon of hope in the midst of despair. Some sought solace in prayer, their whispered words a testament to their faith. In the face of overwhelming fear, they turned to a higher power, seeking comfort and strength. The hospital staff, though stretched thin, offered support and comfort wherever they could. Their presence was a lifeline, a reminder that even in the darkest times, humanity's compassion shines through. As the night gave way to dawn, the first rays of sunlight brought a glimmer of hope. A new day was beginning, and with it the promise of survival and the strength to face whatever came next. Section 6. The walls hold back the inferno. The firestorm raged around the hospital, an unstoppable force of nature that seemed to consume everything in its path. The flames danced wildly, their chaotic movements a stark contrast to the stillness of the hospital walls. Flames licked at the building's exterior, their orange tongues casting grotesque shadows on the faces pressed against the windows. The people inside watched in horror, their eyes wide with fear and uncertainty. The fire's reflection flickered in their eyes, a haunting reminder of the peril they faced. The heat was stifling, suffocating, a physical manifestation of the fear that gripped everyone's hearts. Sweat poured down their faces, mingling with tears of desperation. The air was thick with smoke, making it hard to breathe, each gasp a struggle against the oppressive heat. But the hospital stood firm, its walls holding back the inferno. The structure, built with resilience in mind, was now a fortress against the fiery onslaught. It was a beacon of hope amidst the chaos, a reminder that not all was lost. It was more than just a building now, it was a symbol of defiance, a testament to the human spirit's refusal to break in the face of adversity. Inside, the people found strength in each other, their collective willpower forming an unbreakable bond. They knew that as long as the walls held, they had a chance. The roar of the fire was deafening, a constant reminder of the danger lurking just outside their sanctuary. The crackling of the flames was a relentless soundtrack to their ordeal, each snap and pop a reminder of the relentless force they were up against. Yet within the hospital there was a sense of calm determination. The walls, though battered and scorched, stood as a testament to human ingenuity and the will to survive. The inferno outside was a formidable foe, but the spirit within those walls was even stronger. Section 7. A test of character. Time blurred, minutes stretched into hours, each one an eternity. The air grew thick with smoke, and the stench of burning wood permeated every corner of the hospital. The flickering lights cast long, dancing shadows, adding to the surreal and nightmarish atmosphere. The pressure was immense, testing the limits of human endurance, yet amidst the chaos, a strange sense of calm prevailed. It was the calm of shared adversity, of knowing that they were all in this together, facing their mortality as one. Section 8. The longest night. The night wore on, an endless expanse of fear and uncertainty. Every crackling sound, every flicker of light sent shivers down their spines. The fire raged on, relentless in its fury, determined to consume everything in its path. Inside the hospital, hope flickered like a candle in the wind. They huddled together, sharing stories, offering comfort, clinging to the belief that dawn would bring with it a reprieve from the inferno. The silence was punctuated by coughs, prayers, and the soft whimpers of frightened children. Section 9. Dawn's embrace. As the first rays of dawn pierced through the smoke-filled sky, a new day began to unfold, bringing with it a fragile sense of hope. The sky, once dark and foreboding, now held a promise of renewal. A collective sigh of relief swept through the hospital. The staff, who had been working tirelessly through the night, finally allowed themselves a moment to breathe. Their faces, etched with exhaustion, softened as the light of dawn touched them. The fire still burned, but its fury had abated. The once raging inferno had been tamed, its destructive power reduced to smouldering embers. The threat, though not entirely gone, was now manageable. The roar had become a low growl, a defeated beast finally succumbing to exhaustion. The flames, which had once seemed unstoppable, now flickered weakly, their strength sapped by the relentless efforts of the firefighters. Rescue teams arrived, their faces grim but determined. They moved with purpose, their every action a testament to their training and resolve. Each step they took was a step towards reclaiming safety and order from the chaos. The ordeal was far from over, but the worst was behind them. The workers, though exhausted, found solace in the progress they had made. They knew that their efforts had not been in vain, and that gave them the strength to continue. The hospital, scarred and battered, still stood tall. Its walls, though marked by the fire, remained a symbol of resilience. It had withstood the onslaught and emerged not unscathed but unbroken, a beacon of hope amidst the ashes. The The hospital's survival was a testament to the strength and determination of those who had fought to save it. It stood as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope could prevail. That night, Ruth Hospital had witnessed the best of humanity, its courage, its resilience, and its unwavering spirit. The staff and rescue workers had come together, united by a common goal, and had faced the crisis head-on. Their unwavering spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity was a beacon of light in the darkness. They had shown that even in the face of disaster, the human spirit could endure and triumph. Their actions would be remembered as a testament to the power of unity and determination. The city slept, unaware of the drama that would soon unfold. At Ruth Hospital, the night shift moved at its usual pace. Nurses whispered in dimly lit corridors, tending to their patients. Doctors huddled over charts, their faces etched with concern. It was a night like any other until it wasn't. The ground shuddered. A low rumble echoed through the building. Then a deafening roar tore through the night. It was an explosion, close and violent. Walls shook, lights flickered, and the air filled with dust and screams. Panic seized the hospital. Patients, awakened by the blast, cried out in fear. Nurses rushed to comfort them, their own faces pale with worry. Doctors, their training kicking in, fought to maintain calm amidst the chaos. Outside, sirens wailed in the distance, drawing closer. In the hospital chapel, Imam Ali, there for his nightly prayers, felt the tremor. He saw fear grip the faces of those around him. He knew that in this moment of chaos, they needed more than medical attention. They needed solace. They needed hope.
My brothers and sisters, let us turn to God in this hour of need.
He invited everyone, regardless of faith, to join him in prayer. His words echoing through the chapel were a balm to frayed nerves. Dr. Aisha, the hospital's chief resident, took charge. Her sharp mind cut through the panic. She directed staff to assess the damage, account for patients, and prepare for potential casualties. Her calm demeanor, her unwavering resolve, was a beacon for everyone to follow.
Narrator. The explosion had damaged a wing of the hospital. The power was out, plunging the corridors into darkness.
Dr. Aisha knew they had to evacuate patients from the affected area quickly. Time was of the essence. News of the explosion spread like wildfire. The community rallied. People poured into the streets, their faces etched with worry and a desire to help. They came with flashlights, blankets, and bottles of water. They came to offer whatever they could. Section 5, Hands Reaching Out. In times of crisis, the true essence of humanity often reveals itself in the most unexpected ways. This chapter is dedicated to those moments when hands reached out, bridging gaps and bringing hope. Truck drivers, often the unsung heroes of the road, used their vehicles to transport the injured to other hospitals. Their trucks, usually filled with goods, became lifelines, carrying those in need to safety. These drivers navigated through chaotic streets, their determination unwavering, ensuring that every individual received the care they desperately needed. Local restaurants, understanding the gravity of the situation, sent food and water for the patients and staff. Chefs and kitchen staff worked tirelessly, preparing meals that would sustain the weary and the wounded. Volunteers then took on the task of distributing these essentials, ensuring that no one went hungry or thirsty. The sight of food and water being delivered brought a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos. Young men, driven by a sense of duty and compassion, formed human chains. They passed supplies from hand to hand, their faces illuminated by the flashing lights of ambulances. These chains of humanity stretched across streets and alleys, ensuring that medical supplies reached their destinations swiftly. Each link in the chain represented a commitment to helping others, a testament to the power of collective effort. The air hung heavy with the smell of smoke and dust. The aftermath of the disaster was palpable, with the city shrouded in a haze that seemed to cling to everything. Breathing became a challenge, yet people pressed on, their resolve unbroken. The smoky air served as a constant reminder of the devastation, but also of the resilience of those who continued to help. The night echoed with the sounds of sirens and shouts. Emergency vehicles raced through the streets, their lights cutting through the darkness. Amidst the chaos, voices called out, directing efforts, seeking help and offering comfort. The cacophony of sounds painted a picture of urgency, but also of a community coming together in the face of adversity. Yet amidst the chaos, there was a glimmer of something else, something powerful, something beautiful. It was the sight of people helping each other, of strangers becoming allies. In the midst of the disaster, bonds were formed and a sense of solidarity emerged. This glimmer of hope shone brightly, cutting through the darkness and offering a beacon of light. It was the spirit of unity, of humanity shining through the darkest of times. In these moments, the true strength of a community was revealed. People from all walks of life came together, their differences set aside, united by a common goal. This spirit of togetherness, of reaching out and lifting each other up, was a testament to the enduring power of human compassion and resilience. Section 6. On the razor's edge. The night was heavy with tension. The hospital bathed in the dim glow of emergency lights. Outside, the world seemed calm, but inside, a storm was brewing. Inside the hospital, Dr. Aisha worked tirelessly. She had been on her feet for hours, moving from one critical patient to another, her mind racing with the urgency of each case. She moved from patient to patient, her brow creased with concern, her voice a calming presence. Her touch was gentle, her words soothing, offering a glimmer of hope in the midst of chaos. But the situation remained precarious. The hospital was overwhelmed, the staff stretched to their limits. Every corner of the emergency room was filled with the sounds of beeping monitors and hurried footsteps. The backup generator was failing, and the oxygen supply was running low. The flickering lights were a constant reminder of the fragility of their situation.
We need to stabilize the oxygen supply. This is critical. Dr. Aisha's voice was firm, her instructions clear. The team knew the gravity of the situation and moved with purpose.
Then disaster struck. A sudden surge in power caused the already strained oxygen tank to overheat. An oxygen tank overheated from the strain began to spark. The air was thick with tension as the sparks threatened to ignite a fire. Dr. Aisha, her heart pounding in her chest, reacted instinctively. She knew that any delay could be catastrophic. She grabbed a fire extinguisher and doused the flames just as they threatened to engulf the tank. Her quick thinking and decisive action averted a potential disaster.
Not today. Dr. Aisha's voice was a mix of relief and determination. She had faced many challenges, but this was one of the most intense. We won't lose anyone today. The team, inspired by her resolve, rallied together. They knew the road ahead was tough, but with Dr. Aisha leading them, they felt a renewed sense of hope and determination.
Section 7. United we stand. The near miss sent a collective shudder through the hospital. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of the situation, of the lives that hung in the balance, yet it also fueled their resolve. They had come too far to give up now. Outside, the community continued to rally around the hospital. They set up makeshift shelters for those who had been displaced. They donated blood, offered words of encouragement, and prayed for the safety of the patients and staff. Section 8. When the wind changed. As the night wore on, the wind shifted. The thick smoke that had enveloped the hospital began to dissipate, revealing a sky beginning to lighten with the first hints of dawn. With it came a renewed sense of hope. They had survived the night. And then, through the growing light, came the sound of sirens. But these were different. These were the sirens of hope, the sirens of salvation. The fire department had arrived. Section 9. Scars and Hope. In the quiet, eerie stillness of the night, the once bustling Ruth Hospital now stood as a silent witness to the chaos that had unfolded. The emergency lights flickered, casting long shadows on the damaged exterior, a stark reminder of the night's events. The firefighters, exhausted but determined, quickly brought the remaining fires under control. Their faces, smeared with soot and sweat, reflected the sheer intensity of their efforts. Each drop of water they sprayed was a battle won against the raging inferno, a step closer to restoring safety. The immediate danger had passed. The once roaring flames had been reduced to smouldering embers, and the air, thick with smoke, began to clear. The firefighters stood in silence, their eyes scanning the aftermath, a mix of relief and exhaustion evident in their postures. Ruth Hospital, battered and bruised, still stood. Its walls, though scarred, had withstood the onslaught, a symbol of resilience amidst destruction. The broken windows and scattered debris told a story of survival, of a structure that refused to fall. It stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, to the power of unity in the face of adversity. Community members, driven by a shared sense of purpose, came together to clear the debris. Hospital staff, despite their own trauma, comforted each other, drawing strength from their collective resolve. The night of the explosion would forever be etched in the memories of those who lived through it, The shock and disbelief were palpable as people stood in silence trying to comprehend the magnitude of the disaster. Yet amidst the tears and the heartache, there were moments of profound connection, of shared humanity. It would leave scars, both physical and emotional. The wounds, visible and invisible, would take time to heal. Each scar, a silent witness to the pain endured, would also be a mark of survival, a testament to the strength of those who bore them. But it would also serve as a powerful reminder of the strength that lies in unity, in compassion, in the unwavering belief in the goodness of humanity. Volunteers, driven by a sense of duty and empathy, distributed supplies and offered help to the injured. The community, bound by a shared tragedy, found solace in each other's presence. It was a night of miracles, a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome even the darkest of times. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, it brought with it a sense of hope. People stood together, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the sunrise, ready to rebuild and heal. The night had been long and harrowing, but it had also revealed the indomitable spirit of